Health Focus is brought to you by National Medical Stores, NMS, passionate about your life.
Nine-year-old Umal Muonge is fighting for his life in intensive care, where he has spent more than 2 months. Muonge is receiving treatment for tetanus infection he contracted in October last year, according to his mother, Mariam Bukirwa.
I was told that he stepped on a nail on the 15th of October. He did not talk until the wound recovered. But after 5 days, he started complaining of joint and stomach pains.
Bukirwa, who had traveled to the United Arab Emirates for work, was forced to return after being informed of her son's situation.
He became worse and they rushed him to Insambia Hospital. They were given a referral to Tiamara Hospital because they could not manage him.
Muonge is now part of the small number of people who contract the infection in Uganda annually. By 2017, the prevalence of tetanus in the country had dropped to less than 1%, up from about 8% in 1990. However, globally, 38,000 people died from tetanus in 2017. Around half of them were younger than 5 years old. Dr. Joseph Mutiaba, a senior medical officer with Lifelink Hospital, says we live with the tetanus bacteria almost everywhere around us, and that is why we need to prevent contracting the disease.
Bacteria can move, and under certain classification, we call them gram-positive. It is resistant to heat, and it can easily persist in warm conditions. Mostly, we find it in the soil, house dust, animal intestines, and human feces.
The bacteria is essentially shut down until it discovers a place to thrive.
We find it in people who have burn wounds. You know, locally, people put a number of things on people who are burnt. Those dead things, the ones which cause tetanus, to be even after dental and surgical procedures. Talk about abortions, talk about even childbirth. So, even people who get injections, subcutaneous injections, and those who inject themselves with drugs.
As they are growing and dividing, they release toxins which impair the nerves in the body that control muscles.
So tetanus takes 7 days from when it enters to when it starts showing symptoms. Symptoms are rigidity. Someone gets muscle, the muscles become so stiff. They even get worse. They can even get convulsions. Many present with failure to swallow because swallowing involves movement of muscles. Someone can't swallow even water. Now, when it is fixed to those nerves, it can't be removed. It can't be reversed. Only new ones can be formed.
Dr. Mutiaba says the best way to deal with tetanus is by getting vaccinated.
You are supposed to get this immunization, a booster, every 10 years. But in case you have a wound, our guideline says you get for example, if you get a wound, and according to the wound, it looks suspicious for getting tetanus. For example, a wound which has saliva mixed, which is from a bite, a human bite, just a mere human, very human biting you, tetanus risk is very high. Animals, dogs.
But once infected, treatment can last for a minimum of 4 months.
When someone is admitted with tetanus, we have to take them to ICU. They can't swallow, they can't breathe. The muscles they can't breathe, they can die. Some recover completely, others not. So the mortality is the best thing is to prevent. When someone gets a wound, even if it's surgical wound, we usually give them antibiotics. But the most thing we should advise people is to take care of wounds the way they're supposed to be. So proper first aid and wound care. It involves washing the wound, antiseptic, applying antibacterial gel or something, then cover the wound.
Muonge's mother has experienced this firsthand and says no parent would wish to go through it because of the costs involved. Muonge's family is now appealing to the public for financial support.
We pay 2 million shillings every day. We have sold everything and we are out of money. But he is improving because we are now doing physiotherapy for the legs.
By 2011, Uganda had eliminated maternal and neonatal tetanus by immunizing mothers. This passes the immunity onto the newborn for a few days after birth. Vaccination against tetanus allowed massive progress in controlling the disease globally. The result? 89% reduction in tetanus cases and deaths since 1990. In 2017, Sub-Saharan Africa recorded a decline in the number of new tetanus infections, amounting to 32,174 from 101,628 new infections in 1990. Walter Mwesije, NTV.
National Medical Stores, NMS, passionate about your life with support from the Ministry of Health. Procure, store and distribute essential medicine and medical supplies to all government health facilities in Uganda.